Going y'all. Today is March 18th. I got my early top 50 wide receivers for y'all, 4 points per reception. Just early on the list, I won't get too descriptive. We'll try to just run right through them. But all right, let's get into it. All right, number 1, Davante Adams. I got him above DeAndre Hopkins, which Hopkins is number 2. I got Adams above him just because he's Rodgers' number 1 guy. There's less people around there, less competition for targets. He doesn't have Kiki QT and Will Fuller, so move on. Number 3. Odell Beckham Jr. just got traded to the Cleveland Browns for a first and a third, and Jabril Peppers, rookie safety from last year. So they're definitely going to be getting Odell involved. I like him at number 3 right now. Number 4, Juju Smith-Schuster. Antonio Brown leaving town. That's about 170 targets. Juju already had about 150, 160 last year. He might get 200 targets this year. Don't be fading Juju like everybody's saying. Go ahead and draft him. Go ahead and grab him up. Number 5, Julio Jones. He gets 1,400 yards every year, a few touchdowns. He's gets some huge games, a few smaller games. Last year was more consistent than normal. He ended up having more touchdowns than normal. He had more touchdowns last year than the last 2 or 3 years combined. So I'm going to leave Julio right there at number 5. All right, number 6. Right now I'm looking at Michael Thomas right there. And as Drew Brees' number 1 target, even his rookie year in the season, he was still really top 15 receiver in the league, top 10 fantasy receiver. You can't go wrong with Michael Thomas. He's about as solid as it gets. That's why they call him Can't Guard Mike. All right, number 7, Mike Evans. That's possibly a little early, but it's Jameis Winston's number 1 guy. They got rid of Adam Humphries. They got rid of Deshaun Jackson. So now you're looking at Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, and I guess they just the Browns let go of Perriman. So, well, they let him out of the deal, so they just switched the deal over to the Bucks. $4 million for 1 year for Perriman. So Perriman's around, but I'm still looking at Godwin to be the guy there. Or Mike Evans, I'm sorry. Mike Evans and Godwin. Godwin above Perriman. So number 8, Antonio Brown. Right now it's Derek Carr's number 1 receiver. It's going to be. Looks like he's already went to town, went to Derek Carr's house, introduced himself. They're both all smiles and hugs. They have played together before in Derek Carr's good season. They played in the Pro Bowl together. He's a really good yards after the catch guy, and Derek Carr's got really good completion percentage on small, short passes. So AB should be able to make some things happen yards after the catch this year. As far as deep balls go, probably not as many as we'd like. Number 9, Kenny Galladay. And, I mean, the last few weeks of the season last year, if you look, he had 15 targets, 12 targets, 11 targets. I understand a lot of people were gone, but he's got Stafford's trust. He's getting better. This will be his 3rd year in the league. And he's got Marvin Jones, T.J. Jones over there. They just picked up Jesse James for tight end, Amendola in the slot. So he's got little guys to take some pressure off of him. I look for him to be the... not Megatron. I remember what they call it, Babytron. Yeah, I heard last year they call him Babytron. Let's keep an eye out for Galladay, number 9. Number 10, Stephon Diggs. You could argue him or Thielen, either one, but I figured, it's a nice 1-2 punch. Can't go wrong with either one. Don't scratch your head. Either one of them is fine receiver. Once you get down to around the 10th, 15th receiver off the board, either one of them will do you fine. Number 12, that's where I got T.Y. Hilton. I had him a little earlier, but with them paying Devin Funchess $13 million for 1 season, that just made me drop T.Y. down a little bit. You got Doyle possibly coming back. So, I mean, they had a rookie by the name Deion Kane last year that got hurt in spring training or off-season activities, preseason. So we got to look out for him. Plus, they made the move and picked up Dontrell Inman at the end of last year. So I still like Hilton, but slid him down a little bit. Number 13, Adam Thielen. There's the other half of the 1-2 punch with the Minnesota Vikings receivers. You can't go wrong with either one, like I said. Only reason Thielen's going to be a little lower is because after they changed coaches and coordinators last year, second half of the season, we all know Thielen's first half was way better. Diggs was the receiver to have in the second half of the season, so I will go ahead and keep it like that from now on. Number 14, A.J. Green. A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd, that's a nice 1-2 combo. Looks like Dalton's going to be back and healthy. AJ's been in the league about 10 years now, and he's always been a good receiver. He always usually misses a couple games. I really like him. He does have huge upside. It's just when you get to be about that in the league that long, it's once you get to be that age, which I'm about that age, once you get to be that age, it's harder to recover from injuries. Things linger on. We may not get a full season out of A.J. Green. Number 15, Keenan Allen. He kind of goes in the same boat as AJ for me. He's a little younger, which was pointed out to my attention by another fantasy content guy, that I guess he's only 26 years old. To me, he feels a little older than that. I guess it's just all the nonsense injuries left and right with him. But, Keenan, you could probably move him up a little bit. I just don't feel completely safe with him with the hip injuries and knees, and just he gets hurt a lot. He's got some bad luck going his way. But with them getting rid of Tyrell Williams and the Raiders picking him up, now you're looking at just Mike Williams and Keenan Allen over there and Hunter Henry in the slot. So I think Keenan Allen's probably still going to be good. Number 16, Tyler Boyd. Tried everything I could after talking with the guy to keep him out of my top 20, but I guess you're right, buddy. He has got to be in that top 20. And I'm looking for him to be just kind of probably by the end of the season, I look for Tyler Boyd and A.J. Green to be kind of like a Thielen-Diggs type of combo over there. So this is his third year in the league. He's kind of a breakout player. Tyler Boyd, 16, can't go wrong. Number 17, Mike Williams, and I'm looking at him over there. Nice 1-2 punch. We just talked about Mike over there with Keenan Allen on the other side taking the pressure off. Mike Williams had 10 or 12 touchdowns last season as a rookie, and he was only a part-time player. Now the guy he was fighting for snaps with, Tyrell Williams, just left. Mike Williams, watch out. Number 18, Calvin Ridley. He's another guy that's got a great receiver opposite from him that's going to help keep the pressure off of him. He's got Julio Jones over there. He's still got Sanu in the slot, taking a little bit of targets away from him, but Calvin Ridley's on the rise. Number 19, Jarvis Landry. I still like Landry with Odell coming to town because the thing is that Odell's going to take the top off that defense and he's going to take a little pressure off of Landry. Landry was getting double teamed out of the slot last year, and that's pretty bad when you're double teaming a slot player. That's hard to deal with. So let's get the double team on OBJ and let's start hitting Landry in the slot. All right, number 20, that's where I got Tyreek Hill right now, and I love the guy. He's a top 5 receiver for me. If this news wasn't going on with him about whatever's going on with the y'all heard about it. We'll leave it at that. But if we don't know if he's suspended or if he's not going to be suspended, I had to slide him down. I got him at 20 for right now because you can only let him go so long, and sooner or later you got to draft him once he gets so late because he's a league winner. If he doesn't get suspended, he could win a league for you. Drag getting him that late. Excuse me. Number 21, Brandon Cooks. That's my first Rams receiver right there. He gets about 6 or 7 touchdowns. Every year he's been in the league, he gets 1,000 yards. He's played for the Patriots, Saints, and the Rams. He's had 1,000 yards every season for every team he's played for. Keep Brandon Cooks right there at 21. Number 22, that's where I got Edelman. That's Tom Brady's number 1 guy. He's not going to be flashy with a bunch of long touchdowns or anything, but I look for him to get 10, 12 targets a game, at least, 6, 8 catches, 70, 80 yards, maybe a touchdown here or there. I look for him to get 15 to 20 PPR points every week. Number 23, Chris Godwin. He's got big Mike Evans on the other side like we talked about, and I think he's going to be another guy like them combos. I'm kind of looking at the A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd, the Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, the Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. It's one of them combos. Godwin had a pretty good year last year, and with Deshaun Jackson and Humphries both leaving, that's a lot more targets that are going to be going Godwin's way. Number 24, Sammy Watkins. I had him down way lower, but I've had to move him up with the Tyreek Hill news, and I could still probably slide him down a little bit. But right now, that's where I got Sammy as 24. If you looked at the last game they played last year, he had 9 or 10 targets in the last game they played against the Patriots last year. So when shit hits the fan, when shit gets rough, they always try to go Sammy Watkins. Number 25, Robert Woods. Another Rams receiver there. He's probably, honestly, in my opinion, he's the most all-around receiver on the team. He can play any position. He can play outside, inside. And I got him as a second receiver there above Cooper Kupp because he is the starter. But I could see Cooper Kupp outscoring him, but that's where I got Woods for now. All right, number 26, that's where I got Will Fuller. He's got big dog DeAndre Hopkins across the side of the field. And when them two are playing together and Hopkins is out there slinging that rock back and forth, that they can both have 100 yards and a touchdown, and it doesn't surprise you. It happens week after week. Number 27, Golden Tate, just signed a big deal with the Giants, going over there. He's got Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, Saquon Barkley. We don't look at Tate as an outside receiver, but that's fine because Sterling Shepard's got some speed. He can play that outside role and feed the ball in the slot to Golden Tate. I think he's gonna be okay. All right, number 28, Cooper Kupp. And we already talked about him a little bit. He could be the number 1 receiver for the team. I don't know. But when you got 3 guys, I don't want to be getting too flashy drafting any of them. Me, myself, I have them ranked here, but I'm kind of fading them myself. But I could see Kupp being like a Welker, Edelman type of guy, burning them up in the slot all year long over there. Last season we seen with Cooks and Gurley and all these other guys they're looking at. Kupp was the forgotten guy, and he was easy money out of his lot. Excuse me. Marvin Jones, number 29. Playing across from Kenny Galladay, things are going to open up. He was playing pretty good. If you looked at the first 5 or 6 games last year before Golden Tate got traded to the Eagles, you had all three receivers, Golden Tate, Kenny Galladay, and Marvin Jones. They were all three pretty useful back and forth. I owned Kenny Galladay, and a lot of times Marvin Jones was kind of a thorn in my side. I'm like, just let the young guy explode, and then Marvin Jones keeps sneaking inside, getting stuff. So after Golden Tate left last year, Marvin Jones and Kenny Galladay were both probably going to have some pretty good seasons, but Marvin Jones went down, and then they just had to force feed it to Kenny. All right, number 30, Doug Baldwin. Last year he didn't have the greatest season. He had a knee injury in the preseason going into the season. I was already fading him before the draft. I knew better. I was surprised that he pretty much played all year. I was surprised that he played, and he wasn't real useful. But there towards the end of the season, he had a 2-touchdown game. He started getting looked at a little bit. Russell Wilson does like Doug Baldwin. When he's 100% fresh out there, I think he's the go-to guy, not Tyler Lockett in that offense. All right, number 31, that's where I have Devin Funchess right now. He just signed a $13 million deal with the Colts, like we said, and playing across from T.Y., and they got the tight ends, and you got Ebron in there. Devin Funchess could be a red zone guy. He could be a deep threat. I'm kind of excited about it. You don't pay a guy $13 million with a 1-year prove-it deal unless you're planning on feeding him the ball. Number 32, Allen Robinson. That's Bears' number 1 receiver. Mitchell Trubisky last year, he was looking for him pretty good, hitting him on a bunch of outside routes, you know. Not real fancy, not real flashy. I know they got Anthony Miller and Javon Wims and Bellamy and all these other guys, these up-and-comers. But Allen Robinson seemed to be his go-to guy. Number 33, Dante Pettis. Looked really good running out of the slot last year for the 49ers. And this year with Jimmy G coming back, Goodwin's going to be a good deep threat. And then I see Kittle and Dante Pettis running around in the middle, getting most of the targets. So I like Pettis. Number 34, Tyler Lockett. He's the deep threat for the Seattle Seahawks. Last year, Wilson was 158.3 quarterback rating while targeting him. It doesn't get any better than that, and it's not going to. It's probably going to get worse. That's why I got Lockett slid down a little bit. I do like him. He's a great player. He's a versatile player. He's a return guy. He returns both kicks and punts. He plays offensive receiver. He's a deep threat. He can, he's fast. He's a good player. He's just not the guy that I see just going to catch 80 to 100 balls. He's normally going to be about 50 to 60 catch guy, in my opinion. Number 35, that's where I got Corey Davis, and the reason I got him up there is because they just picked up Ryan Tannehill, and the thing is that Ryan Tannehill's not too bad. If you look what he did with Jarvis Landry, look at all the catches Jarvis Landry had for Miami when Tannehill was throwing the ball around there. He's not great, but he's a guy that can complete a lot of short passes. So that's why I got Corey Davis right there. Number 36, Christian Kirk. He seemed to look good on film to me last year. He looked fast, looked explosive. This will be his second year learning from Fitzgerald over there. Hopefully Rosen takes a step ahead. That's why I got Kirk. All right, number 37, DJ Moore. If Cam Newton comes back, I like DJ Moore. He was explosive. He ran some wildcatish type of plays back there, some trick plays. He's real fast. He can actually break tackles like a running back. That's why I got him in there. Hopefully Cam comes back, and that'd be a lot better for him. Number 38, Kiki Kuti. And I got Kiki down there, and I really like him. I could see him taking up Will Fuller's job, but really last year he looked like more of a slot receiver. And if you've seen his first game as a rookie, when he came in finally, I think it was week, 3 or 4. His very first game, he had 11 or 12 catches. In his first game, he hit the field. So I'm looking for big things out of Kiki Kuti. With Hopkins and Fuller on the outside, and Kiki Kuti is going to be running wide open in the slot, and he's agile, quick little guy. Number 39, Jamison Crowder. And just signed Crowder. I was kind of liking a Nunwa in the slot. They got Robbie Anderson outside, but they just paid the money for Crowder. He's a good slot guy. I think he's probably gonna be pretty decent. Number 40, Cortland Sutton at number 40. And if you've seen, I don't have Emmanuel Sanders wrote down yet. I didn't realize that last year the injury he had, he's coming off an Achilles injury, and people coming off Achilles injuries aren't usually successful at that. So I got Cortland Sutton as the number 1 Denver Broncos receiver right now. Excuse me, getting dry here trying to run through so fast here. All right, number 41, Robbie Anderson. He's the outside guy over there for the Jets. Darnold's got a big arm. They got Le'Veon in the backfield. They got Chris Herndon. They got Nunwa. They got Jamison Crowder, like we said. That offense is starting to come together. They picked up C.J. Mosley on defense. They got Leonard Williams in there on defense. Jets are starting to come around. They might be a surprising team here this year. They might compete with the Patriots for that division. I know that sounds crazy. Remember I said that. All right, number 42, Alshon Jeffrey. Seems like a long ways to be waiting to put him in, but he hasn't really had a good, solid season for a couple years now. He's kind of on and off, get suspension here, get hurt here, whatever, this, that, always some kind of nonsense with Jeffrey, and I don't have the complete confidence in Carson Wentz. Otherwise, I'd probably move him up a little bit, but he's the number one receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. We got to get him in there. Number 43, that's where I got Sterling Shepard. He's a deep threat over there for the Giants, and a few times Odell's been down. Not only last year, Odell missed 5 or 6 games. If you look the year before that, Odell missed, or it might have been 2 years before that. Either way, Odell missed pretty much the whole dang season. And Sterling Shepard was the number one guy all year, and then he went down. Eli was out there throwing to, man, I can't remember half these guys' names. Roger, man, some real knuckleheads he was throwing to out there. Some guys just straight off the freaking practice squad. So Eli's going to be okay without Odell, I think. Eli's not great. He's never going to wow you anyway, but he can get the ball to Shepard. They got decent chemistry. Number 44, Larry Fitzgerald. It almost feels like somebody should smack me right now for having him listed so far down the list. But the thing is, I don't know if I trust Rosen. He barely even threw for over usually 100-something yards per game last year. That's absolutely pathetic. And I already got Kirk up there, and he's the more faster, explosive guy. So, you know, I really love Fitzgerald, man. I just wish he would have had a better quarterback the last few years. He is one of the best receivers of all time, in my opinion. I do have a most respect for Larry Fitzgerald. Number 45, Adam Humphries. And I didn't like that at the greatest at the beginning when he signed over there. I was like, oh, man, why did he sign with the Titans? This is so disappointing. But now after looking at it, and they just picked up Ryan Tannehill over there, and like we said, Ryan Tannehill, this is a real sneaky one here, fellas. You go look at what Ryan Tannehill and Jarvis Landry did together. Landry was catching 90 to 100-something balls every year with Ryan Tannehill. He tears that slot up. And Adam Humphries is a hell of a slot receiver. So Adam Humphries can end up being a hell of a steal this year. Number 46, James Washington. That's a little low for James Washington. And the thing is that, I mean, I kind of honestly prefer Ryan Switzer a little bit over James Switzer, or a little bit over James Washington. I know it sounds ridiculous, but the thing is that they just signed Dontrell Moncrief over there too. So apparently they're not really happy with the James Washington situation or Ryan Switzer, or they wouldn't be going after Moncrief. So I'm just kind of, we know Juju's going to get the ball, and we know Vance McDonald's going to get the ball. Other than that, there's a little bit of risks over there. Number 47, D.D. Westbrook. And I know the Jaguars just picked up Chris Conley, and they got Keelan Cole. But I think that D.D. Westbrook is going to get the ball over there. They like him. He's ran the slot. He's ran the outside. He can play different positions over there. This is what his 3rd year in the league also. They got Nick Foles now, a lot better quarterback. So D.D. Westbrook could be decent. Number 48, Kenny Stills for Miami Dolphins. And I got him there instead of Devontae Parker. And they got Ryan Fitzpatrick down there. Both these guys might end up being pretty decent, but I only went to the top 50 today, so that's where I got Kenny Stills. And he's a guy, big guy that goes up and makes a play, and we all know Ryan Fitzpatrick will sling it up and let you make a play. So Kenny Stills can be a real good sleeper this year too. Number 49, Curtis Samuel. He wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. He was going to have more of that Funchess role. He's more of the actual possession target guy over there. Plus, he's actually pretty electric. I really like Curtis Samuel. I actually like Curtis Samuel a little bit more than DJ Moore myself. It's just for the way that offense is. It's not really a passing, timing offense. It's more of a gadget, trick play, fast guys at weird positions type of offense. So I could see DJ Moore getting more work out of that offense, but I do like Curtis Samuel. All right, last guy I got right now is number 50, is John Brown for the Buffalo Bills. And, you know, he looked good with Flacco last year. Josh Allen's got a big arm. They paid him quite a bit of money to come over there. And then they picked up Cole Beasley also. And then they went and picked up Tyler Kroft. And they lost Charles Clay to free agency. And they clearly got Robert Foster on the other side, which was one of everybody's real big sleepers. And he is one of mine too. But the thing is now is, I mean, you know, they went and got John Brown for a reason. So the way I'm looking at it really is with John Brown and with Robert Foster, then we're both really good best ball receivers, I think, on any given week. One of them might snap off that long touchdown, but I wouldn't be counting on them for consistent production every week. I do have a handful of other guys here, and I'll just throw an honorable mention out there. Some other guys got wrote down. Danny Amendola, running the slot for the Lions. Got Michael Gallup for the Cowboys. Got Bruce Ellington picked up by the Patriots. Got Ryan Switzer. Got Deshaun Hamilton for the Denver Broncos because they're probably going to use a couple receivers. And with Emmanuel Sanders having the Achilles injury, like I said, I do like Deshaun Hamilton. Robert Foster. I just put John Brown ahead of him just because they just paid him that big money and signed him. But otherwise, that would have been Robert Foster's spot right there. Tyrell Williams for the Raiders, Emmanuel Sanders with the Achilles injury. So really we're up to about 60 there. We'll just leave it at a nice 50 firm for now. I really appreciate y'all, man. Hopefully y'all hit the like and subscribe this time, and I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.